I am here with the director and scriptwriter of the Finnish feature film Eden, which is shown in our youth section this year. And I'm very happy to present Ulla Heikkilä to you. Good morning.
Hi, good
Hi.
morning.
Yes, Ulla, Eden is your first feature film, and we are meeting a group of youngsters who all prepare for their confirmation, and we meet different characters, and they all seem to have different reasons and motivations to take part in the camp. And may I ask, why did you choose religion and fate as topic for your first feature film?
Well, religion is something that I've always been interested in. I'm not from a terribly religious family, but my grandmother was very deeply Christian, and we were kind of alike. I mean, I always felt sort of this sisterhood with my grandmother, and then I was enchanted by her religion because she was very ritualistic and she loved the Bible because it's so dark and theatrical, and I felt this sort of the power of the theatrics and of the rituals and religion, and also the aesthetics, candlelight and golden ceilings and stuff like that. And those things enchanted me when I was a child. So I've always had sort of a kind of a close relationship with religion, and that's something I've also a topic of some of my short films. So it was kind of natural to go to the confirmation camp with the first feature film. Of course, I was mostly interested maybe in the age, or like being 15, being young. It felt like a wonderful idea to make a coming of age film as my first feature film. So I think that was like the most important thing for me. But then when I realized, because confirmation camp is a huge tradition in Finland, like even nowadays 80% of each age group goes to a confirmation camp when they're 15. So it's sort of and this has been going on since the 50s or the 60s. So it's a very big Finnish tradition. And then I realized that we really don't have a film or even TV series or even books about this, our tradition. So then when I realized that it's a topic that hasn't been covered in any way, actually, then I felt like, okay, well, this is a good opportunity for me to do that.
Okay, thank you. I remember a couple of films we had in the program of the Nordic Film Days in the last years dealing with the topic of faith and religion, also from Finland. And also this year we have one film from Norway called Disco. But most times those films, they are showing religion in a very extreme way, and also maybe show the fanatic side. And yeah, you chose to do another way to tell a moderate, let's say normal story. Could you, why did you choose to do this, and instead of also going to the extreme when it comes to religion and spirituality?
Well, maybe because there are so many films about the extreme, and then there are no films, or there are very few films about like the moderate side of religion. And still it is a thing that exists, even if we, as like liberal creative class, we'd like to think maybe that, okay, well, the world has moved past religion. It's a thing of the past. It doesn't exist anymore, but it does in all kinds of forms, also in the moderate forms, and also like in these very everyday, in these forms of very like everyday life. And it felt important or interesting for me to look at those forms, sort of and also maybe see something good in it. Because for me to understand the concept of religion, I need to understand what's the positive side of religion. What do people get from it? Do they get like a sense of belonging, a sense of community, a sense of being accepted, a sense of universal love, maybe, which are actually very beautiful things. And all of those things are also part of the religion, even though I know that there are a lot of like extreme forms of religion in this world, like in every religion probably. And I don't want to sort of like whitewash those aspects of religion away from it, but still also the good things exist. So I wanted to acknowledge that maybe.
Okay. In the beginning of the film, the kids are going to an island and they stay there for the whole action. Why did you decide to set the action on an island? To put the action?
Well, I think that probably every filmmaker understands why, because there's something it's sort of an easy way to create a closed community. And when you have a closed community, like an isolated place for a certain period of time, that sort of gives your film already a frame where you can put everything. So it sort of narrows down, because basically every time when you start making a film, you can do anything. The world is like wide open. So for me, it's always very liberating, and helps me to create a framework, something that sort of narrows down the shape of the film in some very concrete ways, being it like an isolation, like an island, or a certain period of time, like a week.
You are working with a very young cast in your film. Can you tell us a little bit about how you found your actors and how you worked with them? Did you also stay together on the island for the whole time of shooting, or how did you do this?
Yeah, there are actually 25 young actors in this film. So a lot of them, but a lot of them already had some film experience. Like most of the main cast, like 3 or 4 of the main cast, they had some previous film experience. Like some of them have had leading roles in previous Finnish films. So it felt important, or it felt like a good idea for me to have some of the youngsters to have experience already, so that not everybody is a first timer. So that helped a lot. But we did audition all of them, so they did get, even the experienced ones got the roles through a normal audition process. And then we had an open casting call that went to different high schools in Helsinki, send us your self tape. And then our casting director, she already had sort of like an archive of people in this age group that she had auditioned also before. So through these sort of methods or windows, we found our cast. I'm a pretty intuitive or even impulsive caster, or I do my casting decisions like, yeah, her, him, yeah, okay. So I don't want to theorize, or like, I don't want to ponder too much upon those decisions. I just like to make the decisions. So the casting process wasn't like exceedingly long. It was maybe 3 months in a whole. And perhaps like the biggest parts, I felt pretty certain, like the main parts, I felt pretty certain, like from their first self tapes. But yeah, then working with the cast, we did not, unfortunately, stay on an island. It's not a real island where we shot the film, and we did not stay there. It maybe would have been too much, then we would have been like babysitters, the film crew would have been babysitting the whole time. So we went home every night from our beautiful mansion, which is like 45 minutes away from Helsinki. But we stayed home. But yeah, I had quite a lot of rehearsals before the shoot. So we had like this one workshop weekend where we had the whole cast, like all 25 of them, and we were just sort of like creating a group and doing different kind of exercises and and reading the text and talking, or reading the script and talking about the script and about the characters. And then we gave quite a lot of backstory to all of them, you know, also the ones that are very like in the minor roles somewhere in the background. They all had like names and backstories for their characters so that they would feel sort of involved in the process. And then, of course, with the main cast, I had like more rehearsals with them. I talked about the script with each of them in depth.
And you did both the script writing and the directing.
Yeah.
How long was the whole process of the project from the first idea until the finished film? How many?
It was.
And
I think it was 4 years. I think that the idea, like the very first sort of like seed of the idea, I got somewhere like, well, probably during my own confirmation camp, to be honest. But like in a film form, it was probably in 2015. But the first time I actually sat down and started writing something with the sort of like clarity in mind that, okay, this is a film that I'm gonna make. That was in the spring of 2016. And then the film was finished in the spring of 2020. So 4 years, I'd say.
was there already a cinema release in Finland of the film?
Yeah, we released in the beginning of August.
And are you satisfied with the reaction and with the success?
Yeah, of course, this is a weird time to release anything, especially your first feature film, because I'm like, I don't know what it's normal, you know, because I've never done this before. Of course, we haven't had so much, because, you know, usually you tend to have like a press tour and sort of a lot of audience engagement in a way that you meet a lot of people. I'm pretty used to talking to empty rooms by now, because the beginning of August, it wasn't like it wasn't an easy time to release a film in Finland, because I don't think that people even knew that the cinemas were open again. But all in all, it went pretty well. I think we are satisfied with the results, and I've got some wonderful messages, especially from like especially from the target audience, like from 13 to 17-year-olds, who have been, okay, well, they're not sending their messages to me, but they send them to the actors, and then I hear from my actors that, okay, I got this lovely message, and they show them to me, so I get the info anyway. So yeah, the reactions have been, of course, very heartwarming.
That's good to hear. And as you already said, it's a very strange time right now, and it would have been so nice to welcome you in Lübeck. And we were looking so much forward to meet all the filmmakers. And yeah, I'm so happy that at least we can talk here. And
at least.
I know the German premiere of your film was in Chemnitz a few weeks ago, and I hope there will be a lot more traveling for Eden, and hopefully with you in person within the next month. And
that might not happen, but I hope that the film will travel, and that's you know, the important thing. And at least, because sometimes when, you know, filmmakers, they are touring like all over the world for like a year or something with their films, and they feel like, you know, they're treated like rock stars in film festivals, and then they come back home and there's nothing but, you know, emptiness, and then you don't have the time to work on your next project. So at least we are all saved from that. We are very humble, and we are all working on our next films, because we don't have to use our time to going to festivals.
So hopefully you keep your motivation to work creative in this difficult time.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for taking the time this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the film, and Stay healthy and safe.
Stay
Bye.
safe. Bye.